Natasha Denman here, the ultimate 48-hour author, and I thought I would connect with you guys today to talk a little bit about print on demand and why print on demand rocks for self-published authors. So I want to go through some pros and cons versus publishing a book with, say, a local printer or someone more traditional versus using the print on demand channels. This is coming from obviously the experience that I have had over the years using both styles of printing, as well as yesterday's visit to the Ingram Spark Lightning Source head office here in Melbourne. We went along to meet the guys and we saw all the machines and all the stuff that happens behind the scenes with print on demand. And I have to say that over the last 2 years, I have definitely been converted into more of the print on demand option of style of printing. Now I'll start off, I guess, with the limitations of print on demand, and then I'll give you guys why I think it absolutely rocks for self-published authors. So the limitations are that you don't have a ton of options when it comes to paper choice. There's only really white and cream and a certain thickness. They do hardcover books as well as paperback books, and they do options of color and black and white, but you cannot mix color and black and white when you are ordering print on demand. So, with a more traditional printer, they would be able to access different styles of paper stocks and different styles of finishes. However, the disadvantage to all of that is, of course, the cost when someone is self-publishing a book. So I have 3 key things why I absolutely love it, and I don't think I'll be going back anytime soon, because being a 10 times self-published author and helping others do it, I think you'd be crazy not to stick with this form of producing and creating the book, printing the book. So the first benefit that I believe is huge when it comes to print on demand is the speed. Okay, so speed of delivery. I have seen sometimes an order of a book being placed for myself, for example, and then literally in less than 48 hours I have had a delivery. Now that's kind of not like it doesn't happen all the time. However, it's not unlike that it can happen. And of course, print on demand channels have different price rates if you want a rush service, if you want, so there's 3 options of how fast you want it, and there's also 3 options in terms of how fast you post, the postage or the style of postage you're going to get the work in. So it's wonderful. Whereas what we're looking at with traditional printers sometimes is 4 to 6 weeks turnaround of books, and generally you're ordering that bulk amount of books to make it worthwhile for printing through them. So speed is one thing that I love, because one of my biggest values is doing things fast. After all, it's 48-hour author we're talking about here. And even when I order like the bulk orders for my authors, which is part of their package, they get 500 books. I have seen them get delivered within 5 to 7 working days quite easily, depending on where in the country people are. It's getting my little, I have a thing that goes out, what are they called? And the wind, it's so windy outside here in Melbourne, so that's why my whole screen's gone a lot brighter. Anyway, so speed is one of the benefits. So can you imagine the rate of delivery is 5 to 6 times faster than traditional printing. Okay, number 2 is profitability. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, if you're printing from a traditional printer, and let's say you print 100 books, you might be paying $8 to $10, maybe sometimes $12 per book at 100 books. At 500 books, you might be paying $5, $6, $7. So the unit per unit cost is significantly higher at the lower amounts at traditional printing versus print on demand. So when we are thinking about print on demand, when we order, say, 500 versus 100 books, the unit difference is actually a lot smaller. So it's actually not all that much all that beneficial to be ordering 500 or 1,000 books at a go, because you know what, then you also have the flexibility. If anything, you've picked up anything in your book that's not right, or you want to change it, you can just you know, with the help of your designer, you can re-upload your files, and the next lot of books will be corrected, right? So you're not stuck with 500 or 1,000 books where you have found an error. So that's what I love. And actually nowadays all I order is one carton. So you would see within the system that you're using that how many books come per carton. So, you know, some books I have 48 in a carton, other books I have 42 or whatever it is. Sometimes I have a lot less or a lot more depending on the thickness of the book. So I nowadays, just once I run down to my, say, last 10 copies of a title, I will reorder another carton. I don't no longer, I mean, my garage used to be so full with so many boxes of books because I would be getting the 500 lot all in one go. And it was really, you know, just thankfully I've done a lot of events, a lot of speaking, and I've moved all of those books because people are buying them at my events. But nowadays I go, why should I, you know, store so many books? I can just order one title, one carton per title, and as I run down, I'll just order another one, because I know in a few working days it'll just arrive at my home. If I order on Friday, sometimes it's here on a Monday, sometimes it's here by the Friday. That's exactly what I did this Monday. So I'm waiting for 2 boxes which already have been notified they have been shipped. So it is a lot more profitable, because of course if you're printing 100 books at traditional from a traditional printing company, and you're paying $10 a book, yet you're paying $5 a book at 100 books with print on demand, I mean, there's just $5 in profit right there. Now, the other benefit is that obviously a lot of print on demand channels now have distribution networks, right? So your distribution network of you know, being visible on other online resellers means that people may see it in other parts of the world and be interested in your book, therefore buy it. The print on demand channel will supply the book to the person who's bought it, and you will get royalties for that. So an example, my recent book, Fully Booked Retreats, the yellow book that you might know as, gets $8 of royalties if people buy it somewhere else. So I don't do anything. I've got nothing to do with it. And every month I get my monthly report of royalties of what titles are sold and how many and all that sort of stuff. Natasha is saying, this is time now, just publish my book and we'll finally be able to have it printed here in Australia. Yes. And the third benefit, you guys, of print on demand is its convenience and international postage. So when you're thinking about, you know, posting books from Australia to another country, I mean, you could be paying $20 or $30 just to put it in a bag to send it across. Now, if you log into your print on demand system and you place an order, you're paying for the one printed copy plus whatever shipping costs there are. You might end up paying $12 for a single copy to be printed, packed, posted and delivered to your client, and you haven't had to do anything aside obviously log in and do the entries. So I usually get my virtual assistant to process any orders, or you know, if they're in Australia, of course I'll grab some of the ones from my garage and post. My mum does all the postage for us from home, but all the international ones I fulfill them. So it is very convenient, and you can do that for any. You actually don't even have to store any books, but I'm a big fan that you always should have at least a carton of your books, always carrying samples of your books wherever you are, because you just never know where you'll meet people, or perhaps the opportunity to give it to a key person of influence or someone that you want to build a relationship with, or perhaps, you know, present yourself as a speaker. So always have printed books on hand. So think about which way you're going to go. And also the other thing I want to flag is that the print on demand quality has increased significantly over the years. It used to be that they only used to offer white paper, and white paper kind of reeks of self-publishing. But nowadays they have the cream finish. I mean, you can't probably see that in this particular book. Their matte finish is actually like it a lot better than the matte finish of other like the traditional printing that I've had in the past. I actually really love it. So the quality and the feel of the books has improved over the years as well. So I hope that some of this has helped you. I don't think it's necessary as a self-published author to go through the extra costs that local traditional printers charge. Certainly consider it if you are planning to print 500, 1,000, 2,000, anything over 500, I would say consider it. Otherwise, just stick with print on demand channels. Our preferred supplier is Ingram Spark, Lightning Source, and they have a head office in Melbourne. Obviously, they're a US company. They have a head office in the US. They have one in the UK, and they're able to post and distribute all over the world, depending on what location your person is in. And also, when I travel international, guess what? I'll order my books and get them to meet me wherever I'm staying, which is another way to conveniently not have to carry 40 kilos of luggage on planes and get them to meet me. So I just estimate how much time I need in the lead up of where I need to arrive, and then my books meet me. And guess what? In the system, because I've got all of my books, I can just tick for this title, tick for that title. I'll tick all my titles and say how many books I have, and a mixture of those books will be printed and sent to meet me wherever I'm going. So that is really cool. I also did that in Australia as I start national tours. Some of my authors do store stock a box of books usually, some of the ones that we get to help out at our events, and when I need to order some more books, because really we're not in the marshmallow business, as Stuart says. Every time I have to travel, my luggage is 70% business stuff and books and 30% my own personal stuff. And being a girl, you can imagine that's like not very, very easy to do, but I have mastered the art of packing. Anyway, so I hope this has been valuable, and in terms of what you're considering for yourself. At the end of the day, the important thing is that you get your book finished, and that you get it out there, and that you make waves with it and an impact, and bring opportunities your way in terms of building up your business behind your book, because no matter what book you've written, your book becomes your business. Have an awesome day, guys, and I will be back in a couple of days to share some more cool info. I committed that I was going to do a short live Monday, Wednesday, Friday from here on in. I don't know how long that's going to last, but I'm pretty good. I've been doing a Monday morning live on my personal profile. So if you want to follow me, just look up Natasha Denman, and you can follow me there every Monday morning at 9 a.m. They're not so much book related topics, but more small business related stuff and lifestyle, because that's what I'm about. I have been able to build a multiple 7-figure business from home, doing my books, and I do a lot of events and all that, but I talk a lot more on non-book related topics, but very much interlinked with what it would mean for your book. So those always happen at 9 a.m. Monday morning Melbourne time, and I've been doing them for more than 4 years. But these little short ones, I'll try to bring to you guys a few times a week from here on in. Mwah! Have a wonderful day. Off I go. It's coffee o'clock. And I'm trying to finish this.